is LTV.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city, and yes, we're live this afternoon on this beautiful Thursday. I'm going to, oh, look at us. I'll share it right now, and I'll share it again, and nobody should miss it. Hey, anyway, we're live this afternoon. Our phone number is 978-534-1626, and we have ice-cold water here in our LTV mug. And we have a guest this afternoon. We're going to be talking about the rail trail and walk and woe. That's right, walk and woe to save my soul. No, walk and woe and other things that we're going to be talking about. But hey, you know, I was saying today, earlier on our morning briefing, that we do about, well, this morning it was at 8. Most of the time it's at 9. And I know, I'm not going to try to interfere with people's intentions or their use of social media, but it seems sometimes when there's something important that people want to know, they go to social media. You can call our office at City Hall. We'll be glad to help you. And this show we do, it's an hour. We're here an entire hour. And you can call, and if you don't want to come on air, you can ask the question to whoever's backstage here in the control room, and they'll read the question. You don't have to, and then you can hang up and listen for the answer. Right, Scott? So there are many ways to communicate. So I get it. Sometimes the intentions are different, but I just want to let everyone know we're here, and we're a busy mayor's office. I could tell you that, and I'm not being critical of other cities or their mayors or anybody. I could just tell you we're busy, and the reason we're busy is we help people, and people know that they can call us, and we can't always give them the answer they want, but we're going to get them an answer. So City Hall number 534-7500, extension 0, and our phone number right here for the next hour. Even if we have a guest, they don't mind. We always ask them, like, do you mind if somebody calls with a question that has nothing to do with what we're talking about? Not at all. There's the phone number right there, 978-534-1626, and we'll be back with Kevin Williams, and we're going to be talking about, well, a whole bunch of things, because him and I can jump from subject to jump from subject to subject really easy. So we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Custodia, and welcome to LTV KVC Talk Show. And today we have Anthony and Gabe.
Hello, my name is Gabe.
And my name is Anthony.
I'm going to be asking you guys a few questions. What do you like so far about the LTV program?
The staff. The staff's been so nice here.
What do you like?
I like how we can do these little talk shows and stuff like that.
What is your favorite part about the LTV program?
I would say that I enjoy doing these little talks and being able to have some people see it.
I like doing editing, probably.
What kind of movies did you guys make?
So we've made one game show. We've made two heist movies and one stop motion movie.
What are they called?
We have Pick That Pitch, which is our game show, Mission Embarkable, which is one of our heists, the Great Candy Heist, which is our second heist, and I forget the name of the stop motion one. I am sorry.
Do you like editing, or is it like too hard?
I find that editing can be challenging, but the rewards that you get is worth it.
Yeah, so like editing, you basically gotta edit for a while on the program that we use to get used to it and make it more efficient.
What do you like to do, like for like making movies? Like what kind of like that genre?
Well, I think we go around. We've had a game show and we've had 2 heists. We have this talk show and we have a stop motion. So I'd say the genre we use the most is heist.
Well, yeah, basically, I like the heist.
What's your favorite part about the day that? What's your favorite part of coming to LTV?
I enjoy just editing in a nice, peaceful atmosphere where no one, slightly peaceful. There are some hiccups here and there. But for the most part, I find it.
Well, we will go back to the All-American City and compete. Most of the, Kevin was with us, and Kevin is not only with the Twin City Rail Trail, but he's also the co-founder of Roots Kitchen. He's a chef. He likes to cook. Everywhere he goes, this is what happens. He's like, what do you got on the menu? How do you make this? What's this? You got any protein? Can you throw some protein in there? Right?
Yep.
That's Kevin.
Yes.
And he came to us to, I'm sure you saw the video, many did, we've shown it here, and I came to Denver, and I was just saying, we'll go back. So everybody that won has already been there, and they've already either won or they've already been there. So it's almost like we could set up a consulting agency to train cities on how to prepare themselves.
Bring pom-poms.
Pom-poms.
No one told us.
Yeah, nobody told. I didn't get the memo, bring pom-poms. But we didn't, every dime that we spent was privately raised, whereas a lot of these communities, X amount of dollars was raised privately, and then the rest of it came from the city. It was all mostly paid for the city, and then some sponsors. We did all sponsors for us. Yeah. So we had a limit on how much we could do and who we could bring. No excuses. It was a good experience.
Oh, it was great, and the city put us up.
I mean, I've always known you, but now I know you much better.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Now you're on the fast list.
Yes.
It's like,
you hang
Kevin,
out in a small room with someone.
Kevin, what's going on down here at Roots today? What's on special? You got any?
Oh, actually, let me.
What you got?
Funny you brought that. So we brought you a little treat. You know, Roots likes to do things healthy and a little different, but it is a hot day. And it is dinner time.
What do we got?
But it's not dinner, it's dessert. What we got for you is a chocolate avocado pudding.
All right. Well, that looks good.
That's made with
I'm gonna wait a little bit.
Avocados,
and then I'm gonna tell people how it goes.
A little agave to sweeten it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this something you make?
Yeah, we make it there.
Whip it out?
Yep.
No pun intended, but pun intended.
We blend it up.
So you make it. So
yeah.
You know what? One of the things that I would like to do is, and we talked about this when Carl was here and stuff, is we've had nutritionists come on, and if people are getting ready for like a wedding or something, they go into this whole like diet thing.
Slow down.
And then it comes right back because it's not sustainable. You can't deprive yourself. So I have this thing in my brain called half healthy.
Okay.
That's what I call it. Like,
love it.
If sometimes you eat something you're like, that has absolutely no taste. I don't care how good they say it is for you. It has no taste. And not only am I never going to eat it again, I'm not going to eat this one, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But if you eat things that are healthy, that actually taste like something, right?
Oh, real ingredients. And that's what we do at Roots. Everything we use and make is from scratch. And we have a farm, and everything comes in whole foods, you know.
It tastes good.
And it tastes
good. That's my point.
Yeah.
It has flavor. It tastes good. So what I would like to do is find somebody that can teach people to cook like a real Mediterranean diet, like real
Just like you told us on the trip about your mother making Mediterranean food from the garden.
Everything.
And I don't know if you remember that conversation,
Yes,
but
I
then
do.
we talked about blue zones.
Yes.
And so Whole Foods is what every blue zone across the world eats.
Right.
Blue zones are parts of the world where people live to over 100. And they have a lot of characteristics in common. In Leominster,
The good olive oil,
good
stuff.
olive oil, friends, social things,
Right,
walkable community.
Right.
With the rail trail expanding, I think we're really hitting the boxes for a lot of things that make up a blue zone. And the cool thing about blue zones, it extends your life.
Right. The thing with the rail trail, I know you've been involved heavily, is, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight, this event that we're going to have with Starburst. Just saw J.D. Geronimo from Neurotic Gumbo. They're playing tomorrow night down at Hampton Beach. Ooh. The only problem is I got out of work at 4. There's no chance of getting 495 North tomorrow.
No.
If you're not already there, or you don't leave at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, or 10 o'clock in the morning,
you gotta
it ain't
leave
going to
early.
happen. I'd really like to get out there, too, to see them. But they're playing for Starburst for us, and we're having some events. But the thing about that I noticed about our rail trail is it's one of the very few. I talked about transportation, how I watch people, and I like to watch people's actions, and they'll go to Home Goods, they'll cross and go to Home Goods, get back on the trail. They use it to go to work. A lot of those people work along the way. They work at the hospital. Somebody told me from a business the other day that between customers and the people that work there, they added a bike rack. Ooh. And I said, well, that's exactly what that's what we want. And the other thing that I've noticed is there are like short runs. Mm-hmm. So if you get up to some of these rail trails, which are excellent because they go right into the woods and you're in the woods. Yeah. If you love that, that's great stuff. For us, we've got these little blocks. So now, with the extension of the rail trail, you'll be able to park downtown, right next to the rail trail, take your kids, and maybe your kids are small and you only make it to Carter Park.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
Or maybe you park at Carter Park and you go into Doyle Field and the kids go on Imagination Station and you walk around, they walk around, use the gym that's there. It's got all those different sort of compartments, so you don't have to go all the way to Fitchburg if you don't want. You don't have to go all the way to Erdman Way. You don't have to go. So a little kid gets on a bike. They think they went 10 miles.
Yeah.
And they went a quarter of a mile, right?
Absolutely.
But they're out there.
Yeah.
And at some point they want to go a little further, and then a little further, and they're older, and they want to go the whole length. Ours is that unusual.
Yeah, I mean, you can see by riding the rail trail, the ridership has grown exponentially. 2 years ago, you saw some people. Now, if you ride on the rail trail on a Saturday, it's almost like you need a traffic light.
I'm going to go back to avocado, sunflower oil, vanilla extract, dates, which are really good for you.
Good for
rice
fiber.
milk, cocoa powder. So there's no preservatives in here.
No preservatives.
It's all good stuff.
And those are all organic ingredients as well.
What do you use for milk in here?
Maybe rice milk?
Yeah, it's earth balanced butter, cocoa. Oh, rice milk.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. So our baker, Ruby Bunker, makes all of the pastries at Roots. She's fantastic.
This is outstanding.
Isn't that great?
There's nothing.
And it's filled with avocados. The cocoa, the raw cacao does a great job of kind of masking that. And then we put a little icing on top. It's all vegan also. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice, dude. Glad you like it.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
How many calories if you eat the whole thing?
None, 0. I don't have a calorie count for it.
No, I'm just saying.
But
it's all good stuff in there.
Yeah, the only sweetener is the agave and the dates. And dates are great because they also bring fiber. So it's like sweetness with fiber. That's how we sweeten.
There's a lot of ingredients in there.
Yeah.
And people got to look and they look and say, well, that might be more expensive. Well, you can get some 6-pack for $3 or $4 at the supermarket, but there's nothing in it that's any good. In fact, the label of ingredients is so long, it wraps around the package.
Yeah. We try to keep it simple and healthy.
Yeah. But the rail trail has been a huge success. On the Leominster side, we hire somebody to pick up the trash. The Rail Trail Association pays to have it. So the money that we get in from leases,
absolutely,
people lease parking or they lease land from us, that money goes back into a fund, and that's what we use to keep it clean.
It's been great, yeah. We mow it in the summer and we plow it in the winter. Our goal was to make it accessible year-round.
And last year it was open. I don't think we closed it. I remember it was a little bit of an ice storm, but by the next day, the sun had come out and hit it and wiped it out. And
Want to shout out Della Ki.
Delicai Landscaping. He's awesome.
He's our guy.
Guy's great. And then we have Quinn, we call him McQuaid. He picks up the trash on the Leominster side. And we have a couple of, like police and fire have these little kind of, what do you call them, ATV kind of things.
Like a quad.
Oh, then we got,
the sidewalk riders.
Yes.
I saw those. Those
are the
funky.
trikes. We have
Okay.
trikes.
Those
So
are
we
cool.
patrol it often.
Nice.
Keep an eye on it. But that's that combination. The day that we had the opening, we had the secretary out and
Yeah.
everything. You could actually stand there and see how many people came down, and group homes because of controlled area.
Yep.
And then people that went into Doyle Field to use the track or let the use the track, let the kids play on the imagination, or people that went to play pickleball.
Absolutely.
And it's just a really big thing. But
It's a multi-use trail.
Yes,
And
it's one of the few.
One of our
That's my
goals
point.
is that we're hoping with the Starburst that we'll open up to more organization and events. You know, we could see the breast cancer awareness group doing
Right.
a march,
Right.
or different,
Ride for
groups like
this, or
that.
ride for that.
So we're trying to promote and cultivate that within the trail and within Leominster.
So on the same day as Starburst, which is the 9th, is it? Is
Yeah,
it the 9th?
August 9th, Saturday.
We're going from August 2nd for the Italian Fest. A few days later, on the 5th, is National Night Out, and then it's Starburst, and then I don't know. There's like something every 3 days. But anyway, we're doing this thing called Walk and Roll, and it's going to be set up.
Yeah. So it's our third year of doing a community ride on the rail trail. We wanted to pivot and include more of the community. We thought working with Starburst was a great way to get more people involved because the numbers I see are 3,000 to 5,000 people attend Starburst. And so our idea is 4:30 to 5-ish, come down, decorate your bike. If you have decorations at home, decorate your bike at home. If you want to add some to what we have down there. If you don't have a bike, if you don't have a stroller, you can just walk in the parade. We'll have stickers and glow sticks for you to decorate yourself. It's just about having fun, So once everyone's decorated, we're going to have a little parade.
Right.
After the parade, we're going to get on stage and announce the winners and hand out some prizes. It should be a real fun time. Roots will be there with some drinks. We have Tom 10 Bike Shop from Leominster coming down. We have...
They're great.
Yeah, we have Josh from The Break in Fitchburg, a great bike shop in
Will
Fitchburg.
they help out? Like if a kid says, "Hey, my chain keeps falling off. Can you help me out here?"
Exactly. They'll be there to provide repairs or little tweaks to make your bike fun to ride.
So let's talk about this part. If we're still doing it, you can drive your bike to the festival, right? To Starburst,
Absolutely.
and then park it
Yes.
and valet park it.
That's it. We got a bike valet.
Isn't that cool?
We wanted to promote more ridership in Leominster and also more ridership to the Starburst Festival. So what we're providing is a free bike valet. You come down, leave your bike with us, enjoy the parade, watch all the bands, watch the fireworks, come back, you'll know that your bike is safe and secure, watched by 2 adults and some other volunteers.
And the other thing to think of is when you're going to the Starburst, it starts off and it's light. When you leave after the fireworks, it's going to be dark. So a vest, a light, something with reflection, so that if you drive your bike away, you're not. Right, think about it. You
Exactly.
leave, people are dressed in dark clothes.
Yep.
When they come, and then you leave, and it's like, oh no, right? We don't want anybody to get hurt, and so you can follow your way out. The second part of this project, or I should say the last phase of this thing, it was probably as much work as the first phase, because the railroad didn't want to sell it. They were like, no, we're keeping it. I said, for what? And they said, we might use it. I said, for what? There's nothing there but a cemetery at this point.
Yeah.
There's no manufacturing on the other end.
It was 20 years? Is that what it took,
And it's
20
already
years?
a rail trail.
Yeah.
No, this is this last part.
Oh, wow.
Remember, they only sold us up to a certain part, and they're like, no, we're not selling the last part. Why? Because we might use it. I said, for what? There's just what are you going to do? There's Carter Park, a cemetery. There's nothing left. They'd already sold us the rest of it.
Yeah.
So it took us a long time to convince them that the railroad people to sell it, and then we had to put a price on it. Had to have appraisals done, and
Yeah, I remember that was a
it just went on and on and on with the appraisal, and then finally we reached agreement, And then they said, this is funny, you know, at Carter Park on Summer Street, there's an area between the two trails. It's just blacktop. It's a street. And they said, oh, we forgot to figure out what the value was of that section. And I'm like, it's just a little blacktop section.
Yeah.
So we had to have an appraisal done again, and then we had to get the funding for it, because that was separate from the other and we ended up okay, and the contractor that got the work, Pelham, they've done a good job over there. They fenced the whole thing in, and don't get too concerned, because it looks like the whole fence thing is like taken over. That's just the area they're working in.
And
Once
the concerts are still going on.
Concerts are still going on. Today at Russell's Package Store, they took down the fence because it was blocking their entrance. They had to go around the front. So they moved it back so people can park there now, back to normal. So that's good. The equipment started coming in where the bike, where you chain your bike, or so
Nice.
the benches are starting to come in, so they're getting that. They got the stone down. They had to remove all the old railroad tracks near Carter. And then there was some what do they call it? Unsuitable material underneath it, so that has to be dealt with. But they got it all out of the way, and so there won't be long. They'll be paving. So that
That's
next
so
section
cool.
is exciting to see.
What a
it
great
open.
legacy, you know?
Well, the legacy is when everybody, remember the legacy is the room at the 4 Points, the night that we had that last and big meeting, and the whole place was filled. That's the legacy, is everybody coming in going, yeah, everybody's excited about it, participating, donating when they can, helping out. One cause, one big group, and that's how things get done.
But it really, like, your leadership really helped push that project forward.
Well, I'm a pain, so I'm just, I'm
Pretty
like,
cool thing to have in this
Tara
town.
said I'm like a dog on a bone.
Nice.
I don't know. She's like, you don't let up, right? I'm like, well, you can't, right? Because, the railroad's a big company, and if you let up, they're like, hey, we got plenty to do. This is just a $2 million worth of railroad here. We're
That's
dealing
sitting
with,
there doing
we're
nothing.
dealing with billions of dollars in trains and making sure derailments and all of that. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So this is the 9th. And what time can people start arriving if they'd like?
Come down at 4:30.
4:30, they can come down.
Also, we're working on having Style Effects do a little breakdance demo too.
Come on.
Yeah.
We got new buddies.
And you know Danny and Rebecca.
I've been friends with
We're getting
Danny.
the band back together.
He was a little kid.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
And now he's an adult with a little kid.
So
right?
cool.
But him and Rebecca, see, we got a chance to meet new people.
Yeah.
We got lifelong friends.
That was a great trip.
We did. We did. And we worked hard. I don't want to underestimate it at all. Everybody that came worked hard. And we didn't want to just go out there and read off. We agreed, I think, from the beginning. We didn't want to go out and read off of things, and like a script. And but the other challenge we had is we only had so much time. So we had 2.5 minutes to set up.
I mean, I had no idea what I was getting, what I was signing up for.
Usually we don't tell people. 2.5 minutes to set up, 2 minutes for the video, and then 8 minutes, and then so many minutes for questions.
Yeah.
Remember, they were still asking us questions on the way up. But like, up, time's up. The guy with the sign, time's up. Hey, time's. He's getting like
mad.
all aggressive. I'm like,
mad.
okay, all right, I'm leaving. And but one thing we agreed to is that it's going to be organic and just real and not reading off of things. But it took a lot to get it all into that time. Because we were shaving off minutes. We're like, okay, can't say that. There were a lot of things we wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
And when we just went over it and over it and over it, and other people out sightseeing, and we're like over it. In fact, an hour before we went on, we were practicing then.
Yeah.
And that morning we were practicing, and the night before.
Oh, I thought we were doing good. And then once we got on stage for that first rehearsal,
yeah.
I was like, we still need some work.
But when it was showtime, everything went really
perfect.
good. And it's tough because you got the 8 minutes behind you, and you got a lot of things that you want to
And the audience.
say.
And there's a big audience.
There's an audience.
And
with
the
lights.
lights are very hot.
Yeah.
And there's cameras.
Whenever I opened the door, Kevin was peeking between the door, watching the groups that were in there practicing. You get one shot at practicing on the stage, and I hadn't seen the stage. And so Kevin, I said, "This stage?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "A big one?" He goes, "Yeah." And then when the people were coming out, I looked in. I'm like, "Oh man, this is huge." It's like the high school. I'm like, I thought it was like a little stage, a little performance kind of thing. And but you had to provide everything. They gave you microphones, and that was it. So we had to bring in everything.
Totally.
And
I mean, just because we're on the topic, Robin, the
Yeah.
superintendent of schools.
She was awesome.
She was awesome.
Yeah.
Steve, a.k.a. Johnny Appleseed. He was awesome.
Kelly.
Wendy was amazing. Kelly was awesome.
Stephanie Mallard.
Yeah, Stephanie Mallard, Amanda.
Amanda and Robin.
Yeah.
And so everybody was good. It was a good
and
chemistry.
And the future mayor.
Oh, the future mayor. Berenice.
Berenice.
She's the best. And
She really impressed me. She's a cool
remember,
kid. Yeah.
she's just graduating high school, around all adults, and she had put in for, there was a youth award, and she did everything on her own. She checked to see who the judges were. She did her research. She went out and got her own clothing.
I saw the pantsuit.
Pantsuit.
The picture of you guys together.
And I
was
said,
super cute.
you walk in there with all the confidence in the world, and you leave the same way.
Yep.
And she flipped that door. It was like one of those big 7-foot doors, into a hotel. She opened that door, and she went in there like she was going on Shark Tank.
Wow, that was
She did a
cool.
great job. And
That was cool. And the other thing I never got to tell you about was that presentation that you and Wendy gave. That was pretty cool. I learned a lot from that.
Yeah, and I think if you remember what I said is I said, look, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have a license to do anything but drive a car, so I'm not an expert on anything. But what I can tell you is you can't begin to prepare the day after.
Yeah.
So I don't know which towns, remember, and then a couple days later, Texas gets whacked.
I know, crazy, right?
Gets whacked. And I said, I don't know when or who or where it's going to be, but it's going to happen. It's
That
the
was a
weather
tragedy.
pattern. Yeah, and who knew there'd be loss of life? And I said, you can't get ready for it. And part of our thing was that before the state and federal government came out with these resiliency plans, to prepare for this weather, we had already started. We're like, hey, these weather patterns are coming. We've seen them. We need to repair our dams. We've done almost every dam in the city. We've got to, here's all the work that we need to do, separating our water and our drainage, storm drains from our sewage. We need to do all this work in preparation. And so we've been at it. Then they came with the actual certification, you got to submit a resiliency plan. But had we not, we got hit hard. As I said, we were in Denver. They get 8 to 11 inches of rain in a year. We got that in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, after watching what happened in Texas, I said, it's a good thing we did all that work in preparation.
The sewage thing that you told me
The separation
about.
of the...
Separation, that seemed like that would bury us.
That's huge, because if it can't handle it in the system, it's coming up through people's houses and wherever, streets. That's raw sewage going right into the river later. So that was the last thing I said, and I got a few responses that week that said, we were in that little forum there, we were in that little seminar thing when you and Wendy spoke, and we remember what you said, and then Texas got hit, and other North Carolina got hit.
I really felt like if they had considered your presentation and Dan and Rebecca's cultural presentation where they did their dancing.
Everything.
Recycling. That should have been involved in the voting.
Recycling, right?
Yeah.
All the stuff about taking plastic from the ocean, it's brought here to Leominster to be recycled. We make toothbrushes out of it. You must sell stuff at your store that's probably made here in Leominster.
Absolutely.
That's recycled plastic.
Even like the pickles come in buckets. I turn the bucket over. The bucket's made here.
I went to a forum yesterday, and it was put on by Mayor Mitchell out in New Bedford. And it was the state and recycling. And so I kind of kidded the lady, and I said, I've been coming to these for 32 years. And you guys keep talking about this stuff, and I don't know. And she goes, no, we got a new concept here. We realize we can't just force everybody to recycle. You got to make it easy. So one of the things that they were talking about is before they weren't into recycle, but they never educated people as to what that use would be.
Okay.
So in other words, they would say, you need to recycle your paper, recycle this, recycle that, take it out of the waste stream, put it in the blue thing and all this, put little cottons. And now they talk about the use. Like, if you recycle this, it's going to get used and it's going to be made into these things. Okay. So that's the other avenue now is, so now I have a social conscience. I'm like, you know what? This here is, I'm looking at it. It's recycled, 69%, or it's 89% of this product is recycled, made out of recycled materials.
Yeah, isn't that great?
They never told us that before.
Totally.
So now I'm like, hey, let's clean that up a little. The little extra dishwasher water, we'll clean it up.
Reuse it.
Right? We'll take that, put it in the recycling bin.
Yeah.
They'll take it down to Bobby Tossi's place there. They'll recycle it up. They'll use it for something else.
It's great.
But that's the other component now, is the letting people know when you recycle, these items get used again.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to pull more oil out to create a new product. Even if it's, now, one of the toughest things to recycle is glass. So we've got to, and there are ways, they're coming up with new things that they can do. For a while they were adding to the blacktop, it didn't work. But they're coming up with new things so that they can recycle glass. Because let's face it, finally you're like, all right, I've used this glass for the last 10 years. but I want to recycle it and hopefully do something with it.
No, absolutely.
You want to know kind of, but it doesn't have much value right now.
We face like a similar struggle because we do try to buy all environmentally conscious packaging.
Right.
And so you run into a problem where some is compostable, but the compostable stuff isn't always actually compostable.
Right.
And the only way to compost it is to bring it to like one of 3 facilities in the country.
And they'll break it down.
And it doesn't really get broken down. So that's why like some stuff is compostable and some stuff is recyclable, because not all of the compostable stuff actually breaks down in your trash. It has to be separated and shipped out. So that's why I think recycling is really important.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud, one of the things I learned on the presentation, that Leominster takes plastic out of the ocean and recycles that and uses
Stuff comes here, and all the factories they sweep there's no waste. They recycle the plastic they don't use. They recycle their water to cool the cooling systems. Most of them have solar in their buildings or on their roof. They are extremely efficient in their, well, they have to be. I mean, they use a lot of power, and so they're always looking for ways to, better use it. And
It's so important. I'm so glad that
and we had a good
Leominster-
story to tell.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just one thing. It wasn't, and I'm not criticizing anybody else, but it wasn't just, oh, we do this, and they spend 8 minutes on that. No. We were talking about Johnny Appleseed and planting apple trees and Sholin Farms, and 25 years of Sholin Farms still being run by planting new trees and recycled products. And the Rail Trail.
Youth Council.
The Youth Council. Danny and Rebecca are talking about how they've started their business here and how it ties in with the arts and multicultural and all of that.
And his father's work with the Spanish American Center.
On and on and on.
I know.
Anyway, I give us an A. That's all that matters. So we'll see you. So you can start showing up at 4:30, but if you get there later, that's fine. I would say if you have young kids, go with them, or make sure their cell phones are on, and make sure your cell phone is on. And you'll have a good time, and you can bike to and from if you wish, but if you don't, you want to park down at Carter Park and kind of get a little closer with your bike, you could do that.
Yeah, we got some prizes for kids.
Yes.
O'Neill's Bike Shop has donated some stuff.
Wow, you guys got it going.
We have prizes for adults. Thirsty Robot has donated some gift certificates. So it should be a lot of fun for everybody. Look forward to seeing you there.
All right. We're taking a short break. Kevin's going back to work. What time are you open till at Roots?
We never close. Always making healthy food around the clock.
What time are you open?
The hours are 10 to 6, and the cafe is 10 to 2, Wednesday through Saturday. Come on down for lunch.
There's always cool stuff in there.
Yep.
Always. And there's always, the nice part is, there's always somebody to help you that actually knows about the product.
Absolutely. We have our herbalist on staff. Everyone knows about nutrition. Like I said earlier, we've been working with a farm in Princeton called Rattle Root, where they bring us organic produce right after they cut it that morning. So we have a great selection right now.
Good stuff. All right, we're taking a short break. We'll be right back with more Inside Leominster.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. I am the Music Man. And in this world, I am the best when it comes to two things, music and wrestling. And today I am here at Leominster, Massachusetts for a special World of Hurt wrestling event sponsored by Make-A-Wish, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And tonight at this event, I will be teaming up with the Slamburglar as Grand Theft Audio to take on WWE legend Doink the Clown and WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
How y'all doing? It's your main man, Big Lex, Mr. All That Then Some, tall, dark, and handsome, and I'm in this stinky little town, Leominster, for Make-A-Wish Foundation World of Hurt, and I'm going up against, I'm wrestling PPH. Now, PPH, you're a tough guy. You're a big guy. You're a good guy. But you'll never be as big as me. You'll never be as tough as me. And I'm gonna kick your butt in that ring.
Hi, this is WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas, and tonight I'm going into action. I'm gonna put the guns at work on a couple of tough guys that I'm gonna show what Mr. USA Tony Atlas can do.
And that's a little preview, so Tony Atlas, Doink the Clown, get ready to feel the music.
I tell you, I never thought I would be a wrestling fan until they started to get invited to those wrestling matches up at, well, they did them for Make-A-Wish and Boys and Girls Club. It's a lot of fun. And we lost Hulk Hogan today. He was only 71? I thought he was older than that.
71, just turned 71.
He just turned 71. He was a legend. And he could still walk around like, he was a brand. He could walk around like him, dressed like he was, and anybody in the world would know who he was. You know, sometimes, you know, famous people, you know, people don't know who they are. They just kind of blend in. But not the Hulk, not Hulk Hogan. That guy, he's one of the beginners, right? He was one of the front men. Hopefully he made some money in his career. I hope. All right, caller, welcome to the show.
Hi, Neil.
Hey, there's Crystal, our friend Crystal. Talk about Make-A-Wish.
How are you?
And Hannaford, we're big supporters of Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
And our buddy Mark down there. We should get Mark in there to wrestle. What are you up to tonight?
No, I'm a term girl 5 years now.
You're where?
I've been at Hannaford for 5 years in August.
Wow, good for you. Happy anniversary.
Mark wants to, I asked Mark, is there anything, buddy, you want to invite? I said, yes.
Mark's a good man.
Yes, he is.
Ask him if he wants to wrestle.
Okay, I'll talk to him. I'll let you know the answer.
I'll challenge him.
I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Over and out. All right, we got to get busy here at 4:44 on a beautiful afternoon. You know, the days have been warm, some of them, but it does cool at night. And we've had some, like 3 days of warm, then it cools for 3 days. Then it gets warm. That's not a bad summer, really. It's not bad. Well, anyway, I want to thank Kevin Williams for coming on with us. Don't forget, they start at 4:30 and they go to 6:30, and then they'll take your bike and valet park it for you. I had the best blueberries today. They came from Sholin Farms, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 8 to 11, weather permitting, up at Sholin Farms. They were good. They weren't little blueberries. These things were good, tasty, excellent. Let's see. I don't know if we have anybody tonight. Is there anybody in my office tonight? Can you check? See if there's going to be anybody downtown. We have Downtown Sounds, which is basically music in the common, live music in the common on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And let's see. They have nobody listed here, so I'm not sure if they're going to have somebody. Tasteless Jack is tomorrow, 6 to 8. Morgan Elise, 6 to 8 o'clock. So hopefully people can stop down and grab something to eat, stop down, listen to the music. Also tonight, being Thursday, the 24th of July, is the concerts over at Carter Park. They start at 6:30. And tonight is Full Monty. Monty Quilla. So full Monty. And when he brings that sax out, you definitely want to be there. Colonial Band had a concert on Tuesday night. They have another one coming up on the 29th. Outstanding. Outstanding. And in the end, they play God Bless America. It's like their 9th song of the night. And Doris DeChico is 91 today, I believe, 91. Imagine that. My mother will be 96 next on the 29th. Imagine that. 96. Just incredible. And so anyway, great concert. They'll have another concert come. Do you guys film that? Excuse me.
We're filming Downtown Sound, and we occasionally switch up.
Okay. Anyway, it's a good concert with the Colonial Band. So anyway, that's what's going on. So if you got your little calendar in front of you, you got your phone out, August 2nd is a Saturday night Italian Fest, 5 to 9. Tuesday, August 5th, National Night Out. Now, August 9th is Starburst. Let's see, Dining Under the Stars is August 26th. Let's see. We've already lining up things for September. Thursday the 12th is the Food Truck Festival. The 18th of September is the Hispanic Heritage. Dining Under the Stars, I said, was August 26th, and Saturday, September 20th. You know, this is right around the corner, you know. I know everybody says, well, that's a long way away for Johnny Appleseed Festival. Trust me, the way time moves now, people used to say the older you get, the more, you know, the faster time goes. But I think that's in general now. Do you think so? What about your sidekick over there? Does he think time flies? Josiah?
Fast, yeah.
You think?
Fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everything's connected. Like there's no lull time. Like, I think the days of everybody took a vacation and it went from Saturday to, you know, a whole week. I think now people take like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And it's hard to just turn off the phone. I know I can't. And I know a lot of people have to keep their computer or their electronic device with them because it's a 24/7. I have nurses or people that might ask a question or tell me, hey, there's a bad pothole on Pond Street. Well, there might be a nurse and they work till 2 in the morning, or they work a 3 to 3 shift, or you know, it's not. When I first became a cop, I think Denny's was open, but it didn't stay open late. There were no gas stations open. There was no Dunkin'. Everything was closed, except for the emergency room. That's it, and us. And then later came, you know, the Shell station stayed open down near the mall. Denny's started staying open 24 hours a day. The donut places started to open earlier. Tim's Diner obviously was open, but there wasn't much of it, you know. Now it's just a 24/7 loop, you know. Okay, so anyway, yes, for the Colonial Band, it looks like the 29th, and then August 5th, those are the last concerts. Mosquito Control is going to be out spraying the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th of July. You can go to Central CMMCP. Just go to Central Mass Mosquito Control and opt out, and they'll skip by your house. So don't forget, tonight is Full Monty. Block Party at the Spanish American Center, August 9th. They're over there on Spruce Street, Spruce and 2nd Street. Breakfast 9 to 10, and then lunchtime 12 to 1. Pickleball tournament coming up in September 13th. I guarantee you, another month from now, we're going to be like, where'd that last month go? Where did August go? Guarantee you. Kids will be saying that. But they had this is a long summer for the kids. They were out early, 13th or whatever it was. So half the month of June, full month of July, most of August. That's a long time, 2.5 months. So anyway, coming up September 13th at Doyle Field is the pickleball tournament. And let's see. I have so many things to read here. Some of these are outdated. Back to school supplies will be provided by the school department this year, so you don't have to go out and buy them. I'm sure there's a couple of things that they don't supply, but go to school, figure out what they're giving away to each student, and then I guess you can always fill in later. But boy, what did I say? I said on my morning briefing, back to school starts 2 days after July 4th. The sales in the summer sales start right after July 4th. That's just the way it goes. holidays, Christmas, that kind of, that starts like a week before Christmas. Splash parks are open, so is the pool. Make good use of them. Tomorrow at the public library is pop-up teddy bear story time at Barrett Park. So Barrett Park is the location, and that's at 10 o'clock. And I was talking to Michelle Powell today, the director at the health department, and she was filling in down at the transfer station. She said, you cannot imagine how many people bring their leaves and yard waste to the transfer station. It's for Leominster residents only. It's a drop-off. It's 22 Jungle Road, right across from Walmart and the side of the new Starbucks. And just bring something that says you're from Leominster, and they'll let you in. It's Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 8 to 12. Can you believe it's already Friday tomorrow? 4:52, Inside Leominster, the name of the show. Dean Mazzarella is my name, and we're at 978-534-1626. Answer any questions you want. Did you know what today is? Oh, I thought I clicked it. It's International Self-Care Day. Take good care of yourself. National Cousins Day. Hello to all our cousins out there. National Drive-Through Day. National Refreshment Day. National Tequila Day. And Tell an Old Joke Day. Do you know any old jokes? Anybody want to call us? We got 10 minutes left here in the show, 9 minutes, with an old joke. 1967, listen to this. 1967, the Beatles signed a petition in the Times newspaper to legalize marijuana. They're ahead of their times by 60 years. 1982, Eye of the Tiger. Remember that song by Survivor? That was a Rocky III soundtrack. Boom, 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 boom. Remember that? And then 2015, U.S. President Barack Obama begins a historic 2-day tour in his visit to Kenya. And in 2019, Facebook agrees to pay $5 billion in a fine. It's the largest ever, violating consumer privacy, to the U.S. Federal Commission. Wow. Huh? $5 billion. It's like, yeah. Scott, could you just write out a check to the Federal Trade Commission for $5 million, please? When you don't have anything to do. And in 2022, David Ortiz is inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Here's a couple notes here. We've gotten between Somerset School and Northwest $1 million for upgrades to utilities to the schools. That's a lot of money. And we're also, Monoosnock Brook construction. That is going to be, it's going to take a lot of cooperation, logistics. We've been working on this for a long time now. It's going to be disruptive to what is commonly known as, the parking areas downtown. But we're working feverishly to try to compensate. The work has to get done. There is no question about it. And just to let you know, if you're a Lemonstonian and you remember across from Tim's and aside of what used to be Spencer's, the buildings that were there, like the Metropolitan Theater, when they tore those buildings down, they left everything underneath. So what they did is they leveled it to ground level, and they cemented or blacktopped over it and said, hey, pretty cool, let's make a parking lot. Well, guess what's under there? Concrete, asbestos, everything that was left there. Everything just left there. So all of that has to be done. The walls from the brook are beginning to fall in. So it's a big project, close to $9 million, got to be done. It's going to be a little bit disruptive, but we're working to try to ease, to sort of minimize any impact that it'll have on businesses and those that frequent those businesses. Hey, before we run out of time, let's do photos of the week. I never know what they're going to be, but here we go. Are you ready? 8:33, 8 minutes and 31 seconds left. Is that right? Perfect night for the Colonial Band. It really was. They had a nice crowd. I know there were a lot of bands, and I'm partial, but the 30-piece band down at Carter Park, the Colonial Band, was something special. They did it. It was just peaceful that night. The weather was great. Poetic. Okay. So we did the skating event. We had a ball, and we let the kids come down. and set up their lemonade stands. They were so good. These kids are the best. And it went well. I have to say, it went well. We had the speakers going in bubbles, and we had a kind of a rink set up for kids. And some were just beginners, some adults were just beginners, but everybody was a good sport. Towards the end of the night, we got some really polished skaters out there who did they were amazing. But we're going to do it again. We'll let you know the date ahead of time. I think we're going to move it around or wait for it to get a little darker. That way we can get the strobe lights going and the disco ball and all that stuff. So we'll definitely be doing it again. Oh, sorry. And bubbles and skates. What's better than that, huh? Yeah, the kids had a ball. We really did. Where's your skates, Mr. Mayor? Well, I had to, be there to supervise, so. And I didn't have pads and all that. I'm not going to go out there and get hurt. So I'll get my skates, but I got to get like the arm wear and the head. I got to at least get a helmet. But there's the Burbank kids. They were absolutely the best. They're such good kids. They had a ball. Blueberries are ready at Sholin, and they're big. We're going to have several weeks of blueberries up there, so that's good. So get up there. That's your farm. Get up there and pick blueberries Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And work to begin Monday, July 28th, just so people know, replacing the main on West Street from Lindell to University. Tonight, they were working on Sylvan Ave, so they ended up having to flush the system. And when we flush the system, it kind of gets water a little bit murky. Turn not the hot water, turn the cold water on and let it run. Maybe you want to go out and wash your car, hook it up to the hose, it's cold water, go out, wash the car. By the time you get back in, the water should be fine. So that's the project. We'll notify the abutters, put it up on social media. Everyone should know. And work continues on West Street, replacing all those gas lines. Guys work hard. They have to be disruptive and some detours, but trying to get it done before the buses hit the street again and it turns busy, which is only a couple of weeks away. As an illustration, we talk a lot about making sure we get all the infrastructure under the ground before we pave. And this is one street in Leominster, and this is what it cost. When we did the water main, it was $2.2 million. We did the sewer lining, it was $300,000. The drainage was $250,000. The sidewalks were $520,000, and the paving was $520,000. We spent almost $8 million, $3.790 million to do that one street. But on Grove Ave, we did the same thing 32 years ago, and it lasted. I think 3 years ago, we did just the paving over, but everything else is done. And it's done for, 100 plus years. So we do it right. Takes a little longer. It means the road's a little choppier, but when it's done, it's done. And thanks to Brad. Brad's out there. He comes via Tower Hill, Botanic Gardens. And he worked there. That's where I first met Brad. We had a, maintenance technician job available at City Hall. He applied, we gave him the job. He then retired. He's the guy that took Louis Charpentier's collection and restored it on his own time. He's the one that sets it up. He's the one that breaks it all down, but he restores it all. And then we use him as a city gardener. And Sally has so much to do that only one person could do so much. So there he is at the parking garage. Today he was behind Walgreens. He wants to go on vacation next week, but he wanted to get all his work done. So dedication. So thank you to Brad. And there's Jack Porter. Remember the roofer, Jack Porter? Yeah, I call him the legend. I mean, everybody in town knows him. The guy, he was doing roofing when people didn't make a whole lot of money roofing. And it's good to see him. And rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Huh? And we were saying off air, he was originally a blues. He did blues or jazz? Rhythm and blues. And then he realized, we're not making it there. It's not a big hit. So he converted over to, they saw the movie, the horror movie, and he said, people like horror. So they call themselves Black Sabbath. And the rule, remember they said he bit the bat head? His story is somebody threw a bat up. He thought it was one of those like plastic, the wobbly things there.
Rubber ones,
yeah, the rubber ones. And he said, and then he bit into it and he realized, oh no, that's not what it is. And so he got, he got a reputation by that. But so I don't know. He was a pretty cool guy in reality. I mean, he had his stage thing going. Did a lot of music for us. especially the 80s group here, right? 80s and 90s, and did that concert. The last thing he did is a concert for Parkinson's, and they raised $200 million for Parkinson's, and there was another hospital, Children's Hospital. Some of the money went towards that, and so he took himself off supposedly all the medication that he was on, so he could do the, so he could do this concert, and a salute. And we lost Hulk Hogan today, and then Mangini.
Chuck Mangione.
Chuck Mangione. We lost him, the trumpet guy, right? He played that
Buglehorn.
the buglehorn. He played it beautiful. So 3 in 1 day kind of thing here. So tough times for the legends. All right, we're out of time here inside Leominster. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the whole crew. Good night. God bless you. Remember, the world is run by those who show up. Thanks for showing up. Good night.
Inside Leominster is brought to you in part through the generous support of N.P. Crowley Company Incorporated and by DeCarolis Insurance Agency Incorporated, DeCarolisinsuranceagency.com, and by Enterprise Bank. Enterprise Bank creates success. EnterpriseBanking.com.
This is LTV.